I just want to forewarn you that this video is going to be messy. Hey y'all, it's Erica over at The Broken Spine. Welcome back to my channel, and if this is your first time here, thank you for stopping by. So I decided to do something a little bit different today. I'm going to do a tag video, which is not in and of itself different, but what I decided to do was I have some errands that I need to run, and I thought that it would be fun to do the tag in between my errands. I've got a bunch of stops that I need to make and a bunch of questions, if I can get that out. So the tag is the 20 questions book tag. There are actually 19 questions, and then the last one, number 20, is to tag someone. And I'll just say this up front: if you're watching this video, you make it to the end, you're tagged. So yeah, that's that. So my first stop is the allergist. They're going to be going to lunch soon, and I have to get my allergy shot. Not a fan, but for once in my adult life, I guess I should be like a good, responsible patient. When I come back from the allergist, then we'll answer some questions. So let's see, face mask on. Glasses are absolutely filthy. Every time I come here, walking down the hallway, I always think of Poltergeist, when Jo Beth Williams, whatever her character's name is running down the hallway, and the hallway seems to get longer and longer, and it just so happens that my allergist's office is all the way down at the end of the hall. So let's look at this. The allergist is done. Got 2 shots. I get 2 shots. One is already like itching and swelling up. I think that's the one that has like the ragweed and, you know, the big things that I'm allergic to. Let's get to some of the questions. I'm going to go get gas now, but let's get to a couple of the questions. Question number 1: how many books is too many in a series? So it depends on what you're considering a series. Joe Nesbo, Harry Hole series, but you don't have to read them in order. I forgot how many books there are in that. There are, you know, in double digits, I believe, for that. But they're all like standalone. So that's okay. I mean, we're following a detective, and then there's Henning Mankell. Oh gosh, I can't think of his detective's name right now. But there are, I don't know, half a dozen or so books in there. Now, if we're talking about books that build on the previous book, like trilogies and things like that, then I would probably say that for me, 4 would be too many. It's like rush hour out here, and it's not even 12. Well, after so many books, I'm no longer invested in the characters. So I'm going to draw my limit at 4. I've read trilogies, and like that, by the end of the trilogy sometimes I'm pretty much done with it. Question number 2. How do you feel about cliffhangers? If cliffhangers are done well, I'm okay with them. The only problem that I have with cliffhangers are that when you're waiting for the next book to come around, if there's like another book, I don't like waiting. I will get all of the books and then read them. But if a standalone book ends on a cliffhanger, if it's done well, then I'm okay with it. Otherwise, I don't want you to wrap it up in a nice neat bow, but make it make sense. So that's how I feel about cliffhangers. Let's see. Question number 3, hardcover or paperback? I like them both, but I am definitely more of a fan of paperback, just because they're much more portable than a hardback. And what I mean by that is that they're lighter. Considerably lighter. I mean, try traveling with a hardback. It's awful, in my opinion. If I've started a series that has in a paperback, then I'm going to continue with that series in paperback, just for continuity purposes. If I started with hardback, I will continue the series in hardback, again, for continuity purposes, because I'm one of those weird people that has to have their books matching. So that's how I feel about that. Question number 4. Favorite book? As I scratch my head. Favorite book? That's a hard question. I've mentioned this a lot on my channel lately. Reverse Solomons and Unkindness of Ghosts and The Deep are definitely 2 of my favorites. I would also say that Slay by Brittany Morris is another favorite. Those are some of my favorite. You should figure out your life. Here to get my coffee. One what? Chocolate frosted? Yep. Thank you. All right. So I have my coffee. Well, it's now out of this container and in my mug. And I have my chocolate frosted donut. And let's go ahead and get back to the questions. So I'm pulling out and I'm passing by the library, which is like one of my favorite libraries to go to because they have this huge seating area in the middle, and then they have a cafe as well. So I love going there, but you know, Miss Rona has decided to upset everyone's life. So one day, hopefully soon, I can go back to the library and just relax. So anyway, question number 5, least favorite book. My least favorite book was actually one that I just read. Actually, it was 2, but I can't talk about the other one because it's still in the judging for the Book 2 prize. But I can talk about this one, and it is The Innocents by I don't remember his name. Michael Crumley. Yeah, that's who it was. Oh my gosh. That was 9 hours of my life I wasted. And it's like I remember the book, I don't want to remember the book, but I do. And I'm not going to get into it here because I am actually going to do, at some point, a video of the books that I read for the round of the BookTube prize that I judged, and for the books that didn't make it onto the next round. So, yeah, I hated that with all of my, every ounce of my being. Question number 6, love triangles, yes or no? No. Absolutely not. I mean, no. I'm not even gonna, that's a trope that I can't stand. So question number 7, the most recent book you just couldn't finish. That's hard because I've finished, I don't remember the last book that I DNF'd. I would have DNF'd The Innocents had it not been for the BookTube prize. Question number 8, a book that you are currently reading. I am currently reading Petals of Blood by Ngugi Ngugi wa Thiong'o. And also I am reading The Coldest Winter Ever by Sister Soldier, which I am really enjoying. I am enjoying it much more than I thought I would. So I'm excited about that. And number 9, last book you recommended to someone. So I work in a bookstore. I am constantly recommending books to people. A coworker just asked me about Binti, if I would recommend it, and I was like, absolutely, hell yeah, I would recommend it. So that's technically literally the last book I recommended, because he asked me that as we were leaving work. But yeah, I'm constantly recommending books all day long. All right, y'all, wish me luck. I am going to try and weasel my way into getting an oil change. I made an appointment for Saturday, but yeah, I need to get an oil change, so we shall see. All right, so not able to get an oil change today, so Saturday it is. Next 2 questions, 10 and 11. Question number 10 is the oldest book you've read, and it goes according to publication date. That would be Beowulf. I read that in a college lit class. And question number 11 is the reverse. The newest book that you've read as far as publication date is concerned. And most of the books that I read are backlist titles. So the book that I read that was, I think there were 2 books that I read that were published in 2020. One is Pet by Akwege Mese, and the other, I think The Night Country, was published in 2020. If not, it was published at the very end of 2019. Okay, I don't know what these 2 jackals are doing in front of me, but they keep weaving in and out of lanes. You need to blow your horn. Question number 12 is favorite author. I don't like questions like this because it is really hard for me to decide on a favorite author. I have so many books or so many authors that I enjoy reading that I don't, and I think I even talked about this in another video, that I'm just not a fan of saying who my favorite author is, because my tastes change. You know, I may get real salty with an author and who was my favorite, and then they're no longer my favorite. So yeah, I'm not going to say a favorite author. Let's see. trying to cut down on the number of books that I buy, and I think I've done a pretty decent job. I still have work. There's still work that needs to be done, but I am all about the library. All about the library. I said it in an earlier question. I can't wait for my library to open back up so I can go to the library and just enjoy myself at the library. Question number 14. A book you dislike but everyone seems to love. Huh. This is how that goes. Y'all. Oh, Jesus. Now that we are parked, I'm going to try this one more time. Question number 14. A book you dislike that everyone else seemed to love. I'm going to go with Persuasion by Jane Austen. I read that with my workbook club. Everyone seemed to love it, and I was the only one that absolutely hated it. I remember enjoying it in college. Question number 15. Bookmarks or dog ears? Bookmarks, or I use receipts. I use sticky notes or sticky tabs. I do not dog ear my pages. Maybe I will dog ear like an ARC, but my books that I have bought or been given to me, I don't dog ear. Question number 16. A book you can always reread. I reread Jane Eyre a lot. Gotta go to the bookstore. I have a book on hold. When I'm done, I'll share it with you. So I will later. Okay, so I am back. I did my bookstore run and I talked to some friends. But anyway, so the book that I got is Colonize This by, or edited by Daisy Hernandez and Bushra Rayman. I don't know how to pronounce that, sorry. I butchered that. And I'm actually going to be starting a series after this semester ends. I'll explain it more later. What this is, Colonize This, Young Women of Color on Today's Feminism. I'm excited. This book looks really, really interesting, and I absolutely adore this cover. So, and then because my donut just didn't do it for me, I stopped off at Chipotle. Question number 17. Can you read while hearing music? Yes, but it depends on the music. I usually listen to like classical music while I'm reading. While I was watching Olive's tag, she mentioned jazz hop, and I'd never thought about that, and so I turned to a jazz hop station on YouTube, and I was like, okay, I think I might be able to read with that. But usually if I am listening to any type of music, it's classical while I'm reading. Question number 18. One POV or multiple POVs? If multiple POVs is done well, then I can do that. I don't feel like a lot of them are done well. One multiple POV that I really enjoyed was Homegoing. I enjoyed that. But mostly one POV for me. And the last question is, do you read a book in one sitting or over multiple days? Depending on the book, I can read it in one sitting, but I usually read over multiple days just because I like to break it up. No other reason other than that. That's it. Thank you guys for joining me on this like crazy, messy tag and vlog. So if you liked it, please make sure you give it a thumbs up, click the subscribe button, hit the bell to be notified of new content, and I will see you guys again later in another video that is hopefully not as